Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to draft this Halter neck bustier pattern. If this is a video you're interested in, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. The material used for this is bridal satin. Please sew it in the house. You can correct me if I'm wrong. You can use any material of your choice, but for this picture, I think it should use bridal satin. I've gone ahead to fold my pattern paper into two. I'll proceed now to marking my shoulder to bust line, which is 9 inches, my shoulder to waist, which is 16 inches, my shoulder to bust point, which is 10.5, my shoulder to under bust 14.5, my shoulder to length is 17. So I'll proceed to marking that measurement and I'll connect with a straight line. In the picture and on the thumbnail, the half length stopped on our waist, so you want to ensure that you mark that measurement. You've taken that measurement, it stopped directly on our waist. So I'll go right now and label my designs and extend the lines. Starting line, bust point, under bust, waist and length. So I'll label my designs now. After labeling my pattern, I'll proceed now to marking my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 16 divided by 2, that will give me 8. I'll mark that measurement on my bust line and on my starting line. I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope and I'll mark 3 inches for my neck width, and I'll come down by 3 inches again for my neck depth for the front pattern. This is an Halter neck. You can do 4 inches if you don't want your neck too tight. So I'm going ahead to do 3 inches and I've gone ahead to curve my neckline. So the next step is to marking our nipple to nipple measurements plus 0.5 inch sewing allowance. My nipple to nipple is 8 divided by 2, that will give me 4 inches, plus 0.5 inch sewing allowance, that will give me 4.5. I'll mark that measurement and I'll be going inwards by 2 inches of that taking. That's 1 inch on both sides. I'll mark that measurement on both my length and my under bust, and I'll connect with a straight line just as shown. After connecting with a straight line, I'll curve it to the bust point. If you don't understand what I mean, please just watch the video. I have a tutorial on my channel showing you how to properly draft a princess bustier pattern. You can watch that tutorial before coming to watch this. To cut my armhole, I'll take my bust line measurement. My bust round is 42 divided by 4, that will give me 10.5. I'll mark that measurement and mark the midpoint of my armhole line and go in by 0.5 inches and curve my armhole. So for my dart intake, since I took 2 inches, I'll come down by 2 inches and go outwards by 2 inches. If you took your darts 3 inches, you have to come out by 3 inches and also extend your allowance by 3 inches. I've gone ahead to do mine. This is the new armhole, so I've gone ahead to curve it. So right now what I'll be doing next is to curve my princess dart. I'll be curving it just as shown to meet the bust point. Please take your time in doing this step. You want to make sure that your curve lines are very neat. You want to take your time in doing this step. If you're a beginner, please take your time in doing this step. It's very important. So after that, I'll be imputing my 2 inches of sewing allowance. I'll come to my waistline. My waist is 38 divided by 4, that will give me 9.5. I'll mark that. 2 inches of that taking and 2 inches of sewing allowance. Now for my length, because I want my waist very tight, so I'll be going in by 1.5 inches of sewing allowance. I'll be doing that measurement and I'll just be connecting it just as shown. After doing that, the next step is for us to curve our Halter neck design. I'll come to my neckline and I'll just mark 0.5 inches downwards just as shown, and I'll take my curve ruler. You need to have this curve ruler if you want to curve your neat Halter neck design. So right now I'm gonna head to curve my armhole to make the neckline just as shown, and with that we are done with the front pattern. You want to ensure that your pattern comes out looking this way, and if you have watched to this point, please give this video a like so that YouTube can push out my content and other people can be able to learn from me as well. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for leaving a comment. So right now the next step is to cut out our pattern. If you're a beginner, please take your time in cutting out your pattern. Don't make a mistake while cutting out your pattern. And after cutting out our pattern, I'll proceed to pinning down mine just to show you how it's going to look like at the end of the day after you sew it together. I'll go ahead and pin my patterns together, and this is how you want your pattern to come out looking at the end of the day. So I've gone ahead to pin my pattern. This is how it looks. This is how it should look. Your armhole side should be slipping. It should be facing downwards and not coming upwards. You can see how flat it is. That's how it should be. So after that, the next step now is to draft the back pattern. For the back pattern, I'm going ahead to impute my measurement and I'll just be labeling them. I went inwards by 1.5 and 1 inches for my zipper allowance. I've marked that measurement and I've proceeded to marking my shoulder to bust line, which is 9 inches, shoulder to bust point 10.5, shoulder to under bust 14.5, shoulder to waist 16 and shoulder to length, that is 17 inches. I've gone ahead to mark that measurement, and I marked my chest line. It's not needed. I made a mistake in my labels. That's why I have a chest line measurement there. Please, you can ignore it. So right now I'll just proceed to extending my lines to my bust line. I'll proceed to taking the measurements. Right now I'll proceed to taking my bust line measurement, and I'll just include the lines, the markings. That's 10.5. I'll mark the 10.5 there. So after marking 10.5, I'll proceed to cover my armhole for the back pattern. So after covering my armhole, the next step is for me to mark my bust nipple to nipple measurement on my back pattern. My nipple to nipple is 8 inches divided by 2. That will give me 4 inches, and I'll mark that measurement. I came down by 1 inch for my back neck depth. You can do 2 inches if that's what you want, but I'll be doing 1 inch for my back neck depth. After marking that measurement, we'll proceed to marking the nipple to nipple measurement. I'll mark that measurement all the way down, and I'll be using a basic dart for my back pattern. I'll connect with a straight line just as shown, and I'll be going inwards by 1 inch on both sides for my dart. If you're a smaller size person, you can do 0.5 inches on both sides, but I'm a plus size person, so I'll be going inwards by 2 inches. So I'll mark my basic dart just as shown, and I'll be imputing my measurements just as shown. So right now I'll proceed to marking my sewing allowance of 2 inches on my bust line. And after doing that, I'll come to my waistline and mark my waistline measurements. That's 38 divided by 4. That will give me 9.5. I'll mark the 2 inches of dart taking and 2 inches of sewing allowance. I marked 1.5 at first because on my waistline, I'll be going inwards to avoid zipper bulge. After marking that, the next step is to come to our neckline and go inwards by 0.5 inches as well. And I'll be covering my armhole just as shown to form my outer neck bustier dart. So I'll go ahead and curve my armhole just as shown. I'll curve my armhole to the neckline just as shown. Please you need to ensure that you have this ruler so that you can have a neat line for your neckline. So I proceeded to doing that. So after that, the next step is for me to remove zipper bulge. I'll go inwards by 0.5 inches. Please watch how I do on my waistline. 0.5 inches. I'll go inwards and I'll just connect with a slant line to meet my zipper allowance line that I drew initially. If you don't understand what I'm doing, please just watch the video. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. If you do your pattern like this, your back will look very nice. Your back pattern will come out really looking nice. There won't be any zipper bulge. So right now I'm gonna head to include that 0.5 inches at the allowance, and I'll just connect it to meet the bust line. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, please just watch the video. So right now with that, we are done with the back pattern. The next step is to cut out our pattern. Please, you want to ensure that you take your time in cutting out your pattern. If you're a beginner, draft on your pattern paper before drafting on fabric. Please ensure you do that. So after cutting out my pattern, I'm going to go ahead and fold in my dart just to show you how it will look like after cutting out my pattern. Now if you fold your dart and you discover that this is how your pattern came out, you want to ensure that you align it by going upwards by 0.5 inches and just connect the lines just as shown. You can see how my pattern came out. So I'll go upwards by 0.5 and I'll just connect the line just as shown. And with that, you are done with the pattern. And we have the front and the back pattern. We have come to the end of the tutorial. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. I'll be sure to reply. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment in the comment section. Until I see you again, bye.